tongue bitches, fall on the floor. That's H on the door.
Waiting them ghetto bitches, speaking in tongue bitches, fall on the floor. That's H on the door. Waiting them ghetto bitches, speaking in tongue bitches, fall on the floor. That's H on the door. Talk shit, we the cat spell. Walk weeds, long nails, cornrow, pigtails. Baby father still in jail. Good witches I fuck with. Bad bitches, we run shit. Four bitches, four corners. North, east, west, south shit. Good witches I fuck with. Hot door for my broomstick. Witchcraft, like magic is nothing. I reach in my altar. I reach in my altar. I reach in my altar. Got coins on the counter.
I'm that black Rican bruja straight out from the Yoruba. And my people come from Africa, diaspora, Cuba. And you mix that Afro-Wet, that original people. I'm that black Native American, I vanquish your evil.
The awakening of the spiritual consciousness. What the heck is the awakening of a higher consciousness? Well, right now we live in an age of information, where the floodgates of knowledge are being poured out to help aid us in achieving a higher level of awareness. First, let's break down the difference between physical consciousness and spiritual consciousness. Physical consciousness is your awareness to the physical world that surrounds you. Self-consciousness is the ability to have self-awareness of one's ability to process information we receive. Our individual learning pattern, which guides us to a better understanding and realization of one's higher self-purpose in life. Cosmic spiritual consciousness is the ability to open one's mind's eye to the things that are unseen to the naked eye, and the ability to tap into the source of all life, the awareness of the beginning of no end. Here are a few common experiences of the awakening of your higher consciousness. 1. An increased tendency to let things happen rather than make them happen. 2. Frequent attacks of smiling. 3. Feelings of being connected with others and nature. 4. Frequent overwhelming episodes of appreciation. 5. A tendency to think and act spontaneously rather than from fears based on past experience. 6. An unmistakable ability to enjoy each moment. 7. A loss of ability to worry. 8. A loss of interest in conflict. 9. A loss of interest in interrupting the actions of others. 10. A loss of interest in judging others. 11. A loss of interest in judging self. 12. Gaining the ability to love without expecting anything in return. Now we get to the levels of consciousness. So if you look at the diagram of the pyramid, you'll see at the bottom, this is where you deal with the fear, the grief, the apathy, guilt, and shame. These are the things that keep us stagnant and keep us from being successful in life. But once you figure out how to break that barrier, you begin to learn how to deal with the pride, the anger, and then you begin to figure out what your desires are, what motivates you in life. Because when you're doing something that you're passionate about, you become more successful and you have better results. And then you get to the healing process of it all, where you learn to have forgiveness, you become more optimistic about life, and you learn to trust, have courage, and confidence within yourself. In return, you become more happy and productive in life, where you get to the next phase where you start to have an understanding. And with this understanding, you start to see that you have less stress in your life. And you're able to get to that next phase where you experience joy, gratitude, and love, and better results. And then that top of the pyramid is where we want to get to, that level of peace. Because we must learn to rise above from the levels of fear and find your state of peace. Now that you understand the foundation to your new journey, let's get to the grit. But first, let me start by saying, don't overwhelm yourself with too much information at one time, because then you become counterproductive and you cause a self-induced state of confusion. The whole purpose is simple. You are here to live a learning experience. The importance of having grit. Having perseverance is what keeps you going. As you become self-aware, you develop the ability to become resilient and find your bounce back when you're faced with barriers, or as I like to call them, learning blocks. Because as I said before, it's simple. You are living a learning experience. And how you handle these learning experiences ultimately will determine your success on reaching your goals. And at the bottom of the screen, you can see an example of having a growth mindset to get to your grit. Now on to how to develop your inner grit. First thing you want to do, pursue things that you're passionate about. It becomes difficult to be successful at something you truly don't care about. When you do things that you truly love, you gain fulfillment, which generates better chances for successful results. Next, you want to practice your craft. Practice makes perfect. When you're operating with a growth mindset, you must retrain your mind to break old habits that create barriers, that keep you in a fixed mindset, which keeps you from reaching your true self. Next, you want to be able to see the bigger picture. Find the value in what you pursue by realizing how your choices and actions not only impact you, but the impact it has on others around you. Then you want to be able to learn how to be resilient. Through all adversities, you must dig deep to find your self-confidence and believe that you can achieve the goals that you set for yourself. Also, don't forget to be patient with yourself. Last, you want to surround yourself with like-minded people, because subconsciously you attract the same frequency. You not only project out, but you attract the frequency you constantly surround yourself with. Now that you understand the importance of grit, because let me tell you, this cosmic spiritual path of enlightenment is not for the weak-minded. I repeat, is not for the weak-minded. You must have grit, because this level of enlightenment that I'm going to briefly discuss gets deep. Because honey, the shit can blow your mind. So you must prepare yourself by building a solid foundation so that you can utilize this knowledge as a tool to be able to reach your truest self. The levels of development for your cosmic spiritual path of enlightenment. 1. The state of waking consciousness. 2. Deep sleep. 3. Dreaming. 4. Transcendental consciousness. 5. Cosmic consciousness. 6. God consciousness. 7. Unity consciousness. And if you look at the diagram, you can get a better understanding of the levels to the path of enlightenment. If you'd like to get to the grit and learn more about the cosmic spiritual path of enlightenment, go ahead and let me know by hitting that like and subscribe button down below. And don't forget to tap the notification button to see when I upload. Thanks for tuning in to AHA Divinity TV. One love.